It's real!
Real life by Grace.
They're survivors, orphans, pilot farmers, scavengers, and stormtroopers. No one saw them coming. They didn't plan this for their future, and yet here they are, unlikely heroes thrust into a galaxy-wide conflict. They are the final piece in a larger puzzle, made to defeat evil and accomplish something big. Who are they?
These characters are the new breed of Jedi. You may be questioning my terminology. After all, 3 of the characters that I just listed actually call themselves Jedi and seek to carry on the Jedi legacy. What makes them different from the previous order? Glad you asked. 1. They have experiences outside of the order. Kanan Jarrus was a Padawan formerly known as Caleb Doom. After escaping the carnage of Order 66, Jarrus quickly adopted a new existence among the shadier businessmen in the darker corners of the galaxy. During this time, he was learning skills and street smarts that were not taught in the Order. By the time we see him with the Ghost crew, Kanan would not be recognizable as a Jedi. That is, until he chooses to reveal himself. As the series continues, we see Kanan call upon skills that he learned outside of the Order, even as he chooses to embrace his Jedi roots more fully. The results are kinda awesome. Ezra Bridger has been raising himself since he was a young child. Scrappy, quick-witted, and extremely street smart. He's also strong in the Force, something he was completely unaware of until he met Kanan in the Ghost crew. Even while Kanan is training Ezra in the ways of the Force, many times it's the skills that Ezra learned on the streets that save his skin. Ezra matures and grows greatly in his Jedi skills, but there will always be a part of him that is that street boy. And this is to his advantage. Luke Skywalker grew up on a moisture farm on a dull desert planet. While he may have whined about getting stuck there, as his story unfolds, we see how things that he learned during his childhood actually helped better prepare him for the tasks he would have to perform as an adult. And these are skills that he knew before he ever had any knowledge of the Force or how to use it. Good luck.
The shaft leads directly to the reactor system. A precise hit will start a chain reaction which should destroy the station. Only a precise hit will set up a chain reaction. The shaft is ray shielded, so you'll have to use proton torpedoes.
That's impossible, even for a computer.
It's not impossible. I used to bullseye womp rats in my T-16 back home. They're not much bigger than 2 meters.
Add these farm boy pilot skills to the Force, and well... Rey is a scavenger who grew up in a harsh environment. She's a mechanical genius, a fact that is highlighted over and over again in The Force Awakens.
Electrical overload.
I can fix that. Try transferring auxiliary power to secondary tank.
I got it. What'd you do?
I bypassed the compressor.
Growing up where she did may have been hard, but it prepared her to be able to defend herself, speak multiple languages, and find her way around a really confusing, really big space station. These skills, combined with her new awakening in the Force, made her incredibly effective. Finn was raised as a stormtrooper. Not exactly an ideal childhood, but it did give him a pretty intimate knowledge of the First Order. It also taught him important military history and physical fighting skills. Even his time spent working in sanitation on Starkiller Base was not a complete waste of time.
My troops will storm this block and kill you all.
I disagree. What do we do with her? Is there a garbage chute? Trash compactor?
While he may hate where he comes from, Finn's background was a vital piece to the puzzle. Number 2. These characters draw strength from relationship and connections, instead of keeping all attachments at arm's length. Last week I talked about the folly of the Jedi and how they cut themselves off from the strength that comes from attachments. But this new breed of Jedi don't seem to have any problem with connecting themselves with people.
Kanan and Ezra are not just part of a crew, they are part of a family. The strong family aspect is one of my favorite parts of Star Wars Rebels. Kanan draws incredible strength from the Ghost crew, especially Hera. She holds his heart and she is his safe place. Ezra has been searching for a place to call home since his parents disappeared. He finds one with the Ghost Crew and his new family.
Kanan and Ezra trust in each other and their ghost family. They consistently put their lives in these people's hands. They trust them with their dreams and with their past pain. This knowledge, this love, it doesn't hold them back, it empowers them.
Luke Skywalker forms speedy friendships with Obi-Wan, Han Solo, Chewbacca, Leia, and of course, R2-D2 and C-3PO. These friends and family don't fail him, and in turn, he works tirelessly to come through for those he loves. Despite being warned against doing things out of emotion and attachment by Yoda and Obi-Wan, members of the Old Order, Luke does a remarkable job navigating messy emotions, heroes, and villains.
In fact, check out how he saves Anakin, who in turn defeats Palpatine. Yeah, point made.
Rey grew up in isolation, surrounded by thugs and lowlives. She craves to be loved, even as she waits for the family that abandoned her. Despite her hardships, Rey has a huge and open heart that allows her to love quickly. She's got an almost magnetic pull that quickly forms bonds with Finn, Han Solo, Chewbacca, and BB-8.
Suddenly, she's not fighting alone for survival anymore. Now she's fighting alongside this wonderful group of brave people who she can call her family.
Finn grew up surrounded by a unit, but he never found real connection until he met Poe, and then Rey. I think Finn shows more drastically than anyone else in The Force Awakens how love for someone can push you beyond what you thought was possible. By the end of this movie, Finn goes from a frightened boy on the run to a warrior, conquering huge challenges and facing down demons to help someone he cares about.
Finn would not have made it out of this movie if it hadn't been for the people he had befriended. He had their backs, and in turn, they had his. Number 3. They don't carry the weight of the entire galaxy on their shoulders anymore. The previous Jedi had the monumental task of keeping peace in the galaxy. This job was made even harder with the arrival of the Clone Wars. While they did have backup of sorts with the clones were more followers than leaders. The Jedi really had the whole weight of making the decisions. Of course, Captain Rex is a category unto himself. An awesome category. When the Jedi were wiped out, the galaxy was left defenseless. Until the rebellion emerged. The rebellion was made up of a varied group of people who realized they couldn't wait for someone else to free the galaxy. They had to own this battle for themselves. And they did.
Kanan and Ezra are part of this emerging rebellion. And while they are key players, they aren't the only ones capable of, or expected, to defeat the Empire. Luke came onto the scene of an ongoing war. He jumped in quickly and became a leader in the defeat of Palpatine and the Empire. But he didn't have to do it alone. He had a whole rebel force fighting alongside him. Rey and Finn both come from pretty isolated backgrounds. They don't have much information on the struggle happening between the First Order and the Resistance. But that's okay. They don't have to have all of the answers because the outcome isn't all on their shoulders. They have to do the best they can with what they have and trust the Resistance and the Force to do the rest. Seems to work out okay.
We are stronger together, not apart. Different backgrounds and skill sets are beneficial, and relationships and connections make us stronger. All of these factors have enhanced the post-Order 66 Jedi and made them more effective and more realistic in the galaxy where it stands now. This evolution of the Jedi character has been happening for a long time. We just didn't realize it. But now that Luke has realized it's time to end the old order, is this the direction we're going to be taking? I love these Jedi characters that came after Order 66. I love how they blend the worlds that were separated in the prequel era of Star Wars. And I can't wait to see where we go from here. What do you think? Do you like how I define this new breed of Jedi? Would you agree that this makes sense in the galaxy where it's at? Tell me your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Have a great day, and may the 4th be with you.